Alright, welcome today. I am inside Cup Boom, a logic-based puzzle experience that lives within the larger Slap Ventures ecosystem. As I play, I want you to understand what this game is and why it matters. Cup Boom is a puzzle that is simple on the surface, but it becomes meaningful the moment you start moving pieces. What I love about this title is that it is not made just to entertain me as a single player. It exists inside a broader vision. Slap Ventures, which is built around shared joy, community, and even family connection. When I load into this puzzle, I am not just sorting colored balls, I am stepping into a digital space designed to bring people together, give them something playful, something light, something that creates a moment worth sharing. As I tap and watch colors shift, I can feel that Cup Boom is made to be replayable, minimal, and satisfying. It teaches me to think to slow down, and it gives me that little hit of reward when a cup clears. The explosion animation, the board freeing up space. Those moments remind me that this game was intentionally crafted and there is purpose underneath the fun. What makes this world interesting is that Cup Boom is not alone. It is part of an online game platform built for all ages. Whether someone is a heavy gamer or a casual player or a family member watching, there is something here to enjoy. It is playful by design, without complexity, without barriers, letting anyone jump in. As I sort through a messy board, it mirrors what the Slap Ventures mission feels like, starting with something chaotic, moving toward clarity, and ending in a clean space. That is the magic here. Cup Boom is entertainment, but it is also an entry point into something bigger, a platform that wants to unite communities through simple, meaningful fun. So as I tap to move these pieces, remember, this is not just a puzzle, it is a doorway, and it is one of the ways this entire ecosystem introduces itself through joy, through play, and through that feeling we all get when we solve something with our mind and feel proud of it. As I continue here inside Cup Boom, I want to take a moment to talk through the deeper purpose behind what I am playing, because this game is only one piece of a much larger vision. Slap Ventures, the ecosystem Cup Boom belongs to, is driven by something bigger than entertainment. It is built on a belief that games can bring people together, that joy shared between family members, friends, or even complete strangers can shape memories that actually matter. As I sort these colors, I feel the simplicity, but I also understand the intention. This platform wants to give everyone a place to play without age limits, without difficulty barriers, a place where fun becomes universal. The long-term goal here is not just to create good games, it is to create a community, a space where someone can sit down after a long day, maybe with a child, a sibling, or a partner, and find something light, something that makes them smile. Slap Ventures believes that entertainment can help build strong and healthy family units. That sounds big, but when you see how simple moments change a mood or spark a conversation, you realize it is not unrealistic. Cup Boom supports that mission because it is instantly understandable. I do not need a tutorial. I do not need prior gaming experience. I just tap, move, and think. Anyone can do that. A child can, a grandparent can, and because it is easy to learn, it becomes easier to share. This world is also not only about playing, it blends modern technology with educational values. While I'm here deciding where to move each ball, I'm also practicing patience, sequencing, planning. I feel myself noticing patterns, predicting outcomes, learning how to avoid rushing. That benefit is subtle, but it is real. The long-term ambition is to lay a foundation where digital experiences can belong to communities, not just corporations, and where fun becomes a tool instead of a distraction. Slap Ventures aims to be forward-thinking, giving users products, games, and services that fit different interests, all connected under one shared identity. And here I am in the simplest expression of that dream, moving one ball at a time, clearing one cup at a time, feeling the reward of order. That is the feeling this platform wants to scale across many games, many interactions, many households. So when I speak about vision, I am talking about something emotional, something human. Cup Boom is a puzzle, yes, but it is also an invitation to come together, relax, and rediscover joy in the smallest moment. Cup Boom begins to show its real personality the moment I start noticing how the mechanics interact. Everything here looks simple, but once I tap a cup watch, a single ball move, and suddenly realize I only have so much space to work with, the game reveals its depth. Each container on this board is filled with mixed colors, and my job is to transform this chaos into order. One cup at a time, I can only move the topmost ball from a container. I tap where I want it to go, and I have to pay attention because that destination cup must have enough room and the top ball in it must match the color I am placing, or it has to be empty. Empty cups, when they appear, are my most valuable assets. They act like temporary storage, letting me open space, shift the sequence, or undo a mistake. If I waste them, the puzzle becomes unforgiving, and suddenly I feel the tension. One wrong move, one rushed decision, and the board traps me, leaving no space to move anything further. What I love is how minimal the inputs are. It is just tapping. But inside that tiny action is where all the strategy sits. I find myself planning not just one step ahead, but many. I am imagining future positions. I am calculating outcomes before committing. That quiet moment of thinking, the hesitation before a move, becomes the real heart of the gameplay. And then the best moment arrives when I finally manage to fill a container with only one color. The entire cup disappears in a burst, freeing space, rewarding my patience, and giving me that internal release. It is visual, but also emotional. That little explosion tells me, yes, my planning worked. Yes, I solved something. Cup Boom does not overwhelm me with complex rules. It does something smarter. It lets the challenge come from myself, from my ability to remain calm, to sequence intelligently, to accept that sometimes the simplest gameplay can demand the most mindfulness. As I keep clearing, the board begins to look cleaner, more open, more controlled, and with every cup that disappears, the tension shifts into pride. Eventually, the moment I reach a fully empty board, the puzzle feels complete, like I earned a small win. That is what stands out. Most Cup Boom is minimal, replayable, and quietly powerful. It rewards patience, punishes impatience, and slowly teaches me to approach every move with intention. When I take a step back and talk about what is powering this experience behind the screen, I cannot ignore the role of the Slap token. It is the native digital asset that fuels the entire Slap Ventures ecosystem, including the platform where Cup Boom lives. Holding Slap is what gives full access to the game platform. It is not just a collectible, it is a utility token designed to make everything inside this ecosystem more interactive. As I move these balls across the cups, I know that somewhere beneath the surface, this gameplay is linked to a blockchain economy where participation rewards and access can be tied to a token I actually own. Inside the broader world, Slap is used for in-game transactions. It is how rewards and benefits are distributed, and it also plays a role in governance inside the gaming platform. That means instead of being a passive player, users in this community are given a way to contribute to decisions, shape the platform, and be more than just an audience cup. Boom itself is not described as using NFTs or smart contracts directly inside its mechanics, and I do not see staking metadata utilities or marketplace functions explicitly tied to the single game. The puzzle stands alone as pure gameplay, but its existence inside a Cardano-powered ecosystem gives it a different kind of context. What Cardano provides here is the backbone that supports the Slap token. The blockchain makes it possible for that token to function inside the economy of minigames, letting users unlock perks, earn or access content, all based on digital ownership. This setup makes Cup Boom part of something more forward-thinking. It is not just a product that someone consumes. It is a doorway to a system where value is programmable, community is measurable, and participation is rewarded through technology rather than ads or subscription paywalls. Even though the technical details like contracts or wallets are not documented here, what is clear is that Cardano is the network chosen as the foundation, and the Slap token is the tool that lets players step into that world. So as I keep tapping and clearing this board, I am not only playing a puzzle, I am standing inside a space where digital ownership matters, and where a simple game is connected to a larger ecosystem, one that can eventually redefine how communities interact with entertainment. As I sit here sorting colors and watching cups disappear, I start thinking about what this game actually brings to people beyond the screen. There is something subtle about Cup Boom that becomes clear only after a few rounds. It creates a moment where the mind shifts, where patience becomes a skill, and where success feels earned. Cup Boom is more than tapping mechanics. It is a small exercise in planning. Each move demands that I think, visualize, and sometimes pause instead of rushing. That kind of mental training has value, especially for younger players or anyone who wants a quiet challenge that sharpens their focus. But the impact goes further when I place this game back into its home, the Slap Ventures ecosystem. This entire world is designed around joy, fun, and shared moments. Imagine a parent and child both taking turns laughing, thinking, trying to solve a puzzle together. That is where Cup Boom shines. It becomes a tool, not just a distraction, helping build connection across ages. There is also a unique opportunity here for blockchain adoption, because most people do not begin their Cardano journey through white papers. They begin through curiosity, through something light, a game, a moment that makes them smile. Cup Boom can act as that entry point. It lowers the barrier and says, you can be part of this even if you have never touched crypto before. The emotional value of this puzzle comes from its arc, starting from visual clutter, working through frustration, eventually experiencing clarity and completion. It mirrors personal growth, order after chaos. That feeling is what keeps me replaying. For the ecosystem, Cup Boom is a proof of what simple entertainment can do when paired with a mission. It turns a puzzle into a shared experience. It supports a bigger vision of community and family. It gives people of all ages a reason to gather, even if only for a few minutes. And in that small moment, Slap Ventures gains value too, because every puzzle solved, every shared smile strengthens its identity, reminds people why they are here, and makes the whole platform feel alive. As I continue to play and watch the board shift, I also think about where this project stands right now and what is known about its development. Cup Boom exists today as part of a larger gaming platform, a platform that brings together games, products, and services for different interests. It is already presented as one of the mini-games that users can interact with, and its mechanics are clearly defined and functional. What I do not have here is a detailed roadmap. There is no timeline that tells me what features are coming next, or whether Cup Boom will add levels, multiplayer modes, or new puzzle variations. There is also no breakdown of release phases, expansions, or seasonal updates. So as of now, I know that the game exists, that it is playable, and that it is part of Slap Ventures, but anything beyond that remains unclear. The same thing applies to the wider ecosystem. I know there is a gaming platform that welcomes all ages, and I know that the Slap token is at the center of access and rewards. But I do not have information about mobile availability, desktop clients, or how users join today. There is no listed milestone such as staking activation, NFT marketplace connections, or expansions. What I can say with certainty is that Cup Boom is already positioned as a contributing piece to the platform. It is not a concept, it is something that has form with visuals, rules, and a full game loop. That alone means the foundation is present. The world is not hypothetical, it is real. So while I cannot predict what comes next, I can acknowledge what exists. I can see a puzzle, I can see an ecosystem, and I can sense that this is only the beginning. The lack of stated roadmap details simply means the next steps are not documented here, but the presence of a functioning minigame hints that forward movement is likely. As I move another ball across the board, I think about possibility, about how this puzzle could evolve, how it could be shared, how it might someday expand. But for now, what I know is what is in front of me. Cup Boom exists. It is part of Slap Ventures, and anything beyond that remains not specified.